Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. So today I thought I would talk about looking back, because as I was talking to some people, we were discussing how, people were asking me, well, how are you able to keep going? How are you able to kind of continue on and have the inspiration and the motivation to kind of keep going? Hey, Nilda, welcome. And for those of you who are just catching me today live, this is day 7 of a 90-day going live challenge. And recently, actually May 5th this year, will be my 2-year heart anniversary, which means my 2-year heart transplant anniversary. So I'm pretty grateful and excited for that. Super, super grateful. And looking back on some things, I was just thinking, people always just ask me, how do you stay motivated? How do you keep going? How do you even want to do anything? How do you not live in fear that something's going to go wrong? Or because there's so much more connected to this just than the heart transplant. Like the whole reason I had to have that was because I have this type of rare terminal cancer that causes your organs to harden up. And so I'm currently on chemotherapy once a month for this. And it's supposed to be indefinitely, so I don't know when that'll stop. But I kind of don't see it as a problem. I just do it. It's part of my life. It's part of my schedule. It's part of what I do. But I think that when you look back and you can see how much you've been through, and you can see how when things and situations and challenges will bring you to your knees, and you can see how powerful all of these things seem over us, but then you can also see how powerful and strong we are to get through the thing, and how resilient we are to kind of be able to emotionally get through that. And I think a huge part of it is self-awareness and emotional intelligence, and that the way that you handle your emotions and the way you handle your responses and your reactions and the way you handle yourself in certain situations, and how important all of that is. And as we do this and we look back and we see our crises and challenges and things that just bring us to our knees and pain, we can look back and appreciate that and kind of suck the nuggets of wisdom out of that, rather than only seeing it as debilitating. And so, hi Stacy, nice to see you. So I now choose to see things as wisdom learned through the challenges and the struggles and the hardships, and wisdom gained, and be able to kind of, as I see this and use all of this pain and suffering times of thought, because everybody goes back to those thoughts, right? There's a lot of PTSD attached to this kind of stuff. And so we can go back and we can be triggered into those feelings really easily, and they can take us down a road that is scary, and we're not sure, where it's going to take us. And so I think seeing our resilience and what we've been through is so critical. And as I noticed when I was doing that from my experience, it slowly gave me self-confidence. It slowly built my self-trust up again. It didn't take away all of the fear of the unknown, but it did show me that I can get through anything. If I can get through a terminal cancer diagnosis and a heart transplant and a crazy, horrible divorce, a prior back surgery, and another blowout that happened from that, massive custody battles, and all my childhood trauma, I thought, wow, we don't look and see how strong we are. We look and see and want to pick ourselves apart at how all the other things that we are. We tear ourselves down and into the not good enough and the unworthiness so easily, and yet we don't pay enough attention to honoring what we've been through and noticing all the amazing resilience that we have went through and become and learned and absorbed, and who've made us the person that we are today. And every single one of these challenges and struggles, they build on each other, and they create this timeline of events that you can go back and look at and think of all the surgeries and marriages. And it doesn't have to be negative, but the positive things and all of the things that you've been through in your life. And more, when I did that, more and more and more things spewed out, and it was just crazy. And I don't know, it's very eye-opening when we can see something on paper too, because when it's on paper, it's actually real. It's there. It's not just floating around in our mind, taking up space. But during all of this time, I remember thinking that I just got to get through. I just got to get through. I just got to get through. And God, if you let me get through, I promise you I'll use my life in a different way. I will start to learn and honor my own body and myself. I will cherish myself. I won't burn myself to the ground doing things for everybody else. I'm going to stop running around catering to everybody else's needs and putting myself last and people pleasing and joining everything and saying yes to everything, and that I would make myself such a priority that I put myself in the forefront when I made decisions and choices, so that I would be taking care of myself and honoring this fact that you let me get through and I'm here. And universe or God, whoever, answered my prayers. I'm so lucky. And I'm not out of the woods, of course, because I'm still on chemotherapy every month, but I feel like I tell myself I'm out of the woods. I embody the feeling that I'm healed. I embody the thoughts that I'm healed. Of course, sometimes that stuff kicks in and you feel like, I don't know, what if? Of course, because I'm human. But then I quickly get out of that. And I think, no, that's not me. I'm healed and I'm embodying a whole new life. And I was able to kind of shed the old identity of who that person was, who I honor and love and cherish before, but she had to go. I had to kind of create a new identity for myself, that this is who I am now, and this is what I stand for, and this is what I'm willing to go through and do, and what I'm willing to uphold that, and the boundaries I need to put in place to keep this and hold this. And from there, a new identity shift was created, and I was able to kind of create that in my mind and become that and embody that. And now life is so much more optimistic, and things feel like easy, and life isn't so hard. I'm not constantly burning out and running myself into the ground. And the funny thing is when you're doing these things, nobody is noticing. Only you are suffering. Nobody else is noticing how much you're doing for them. Nobody else is noticing the way that you're bending over backwards to be their be-all, end-all everywhere. Nobody's really noticing that you're doing all of this stuff to please everybody, to run around and make yourself feel worthy, or whatever the underlying layers are. And nobody's even seeing this stuff except for us. And it's our bodies that are crumbling, while we behave in this manner, And a lot of times we can't help it. It's the trauma from childhood that we just haven't healed. We have open wounds and feelings and emotions take over. And that's how it was for me. Emotions just drove everything of what I thought I needed to do, how I thought I needed to be as a mother, how I thought I needed to be as a wife, how I thought I needed to be as a friend, how I thought I needed to be in my business, how I thought I needed to be in my home. I had so many outdated thoughts and default thoughts that weren't even mine, that were generational and came from members of my family and society and everything else. And that wasn't me. Those weren't my thoughts. And I really had to peel away, and after all of this happened, and ask myself, what are really my thoughts? What do I believe? What are my true beliefs and perspectives? Because I need to know as I'm creating a new identity for myself and basically starting over from many, many, many different lives that I lived, and masks that I wore, and people that I tried to be. But in the end, all I wanted was to be loved and cherished and wanted and seen. And so many of us feel that way. And it's unfortunate sometimes that we have to go through such a crazy crises to be able to hit rock bottom almost, or drop to your knees and realize that my life matters. What I think matters. I deserve to be seen. I'm worthy just being me. And so my life's totally shifted. Now, I'm not that same person I was anymore. I really wasn't that same person even before the surgeries and all of the things. I was already shifting into somebody else and embodying that whole thought process. And it's so interesting to see that everything looking back reflects back to you, and it's like exactly like a mirror. All the ways that we feel hurt and torn and unloved, we put out into the world, and then how it comes back sometimes and manifests through our health. And so if I can share anything today, it's to honor yourself and take care of yourself, and take a real stand for yourself and decide what has been going on so long that needs to be changed. Where do I need to put in place something so that I can maintain my health, my emotional health, my physical health? How can I do this now? I don't want to wait until a massive breakdown. I don't want to wait until a crisis. I don't want to wait until a diagnosis. All of these things we don't realize are manifesting illness in our bodies. So many different ways. And how they come out, we just don't know until it happens. And so I just want for everyone to really honor themselves and take care of themselves, because in the end, we only have one body. We only have one life. This is our only life we have. This is not a warm-up round. This is it. So many times we're scared to jump in and do something that would make us so happy. We make all these excuses like, I can't do that, I don't deserve that, I don't have the money for that, but we make priority for other things with the money and the time and the energy that don't even serve us. Sometimes we need to choose us and what we want. We only have the one life, and you deserve to have all your dreams and desires fulfilled and come true. And I just hope that for everyone. So look back and see the strength and resilience that you've been through, and that has been created through all of the trauma and the pain and the struggles and the happiness and the beautiful moments and all the different memories on your timeline of life. Surgeries, marriages, births, reunions, trauma, pain, suffering, losses, grief, all of that compiles and creates who you are today. All of that compiles and creates beliefs within us that we either can choose to live out or to change. So I hope that you will choose you. And I will see you tomorrow on day 8. Bye, friends.